Hi, my name is Jennifer Silverman. I'm a first grade teacher at Deerfield Run Elementary in Prince George's County. The past 2 years, I have been working on my master's degree in educational technology at Loyola University. This past school year, in order to fulfill my degree requirements, I worked on an internship at my school. For my internship, I focused on G Suite and other Web 2.0 tools that teachers at my school might find useful. Recently, our school has been using G Suite a lot more, and some teachers haven't been taught how to use them. So for my internship, I decided to host a Tech Thursday once a month after school to teach teachers the basics of G Suite. I also wanted to introduce some of the Web 2.0 tools that I learned about in my grad school classes to help diversify my internship. It was my goal that by teaching how to use these different tools, teachers would be able to collaborate more efficiently and create digital assignments for students to do in their classroom. It was also my hope that by teaching my colleagues how to use these digital tools, that they would be inspired to change lessons and not just substitute one task for another by adding a device. I wanted to start a change at Deerfield Run to help teachers become 21st century teachers and help teachers teach their students how to be 21st century learners. In order to make this happen, I created a proposal with a plan and presented it to my principal and my advisor. I started by brainstorming ideas of things I felt were really useful and some of the things I learned at Loyola that I thought my colleagues would find useful too. Once I created my list, I picked my top 6 items and decided how I was going to present them to the staff. My school is really active after school with clubs and meetings almost every day, so I knew I wouldn't be able to find that perfect magical hour that everyone is available outside of staff meetings. But I was able to look at the calendar and find days and times that I thought would fit in most people's schedules. Some of the times I picked were during mandatory professional development time, which I thought would be great because the staff had to attend anyways, so why not learn about some technology too? I then put my top 6 in order by high priority and things teachers should learn first to low priority and things that teachers can manage throughout most of the year and maybe be able to use next year. I plugged them into the calendar and then added goals and time for reflection and feedback. It looked like a great plan on paper and everyone signed off on it. For my first session, I was able to present at a professional development half day, which was mandatory for staff to attend. Yes, that's me in the crazy outfit. It was Spirit Day at school, and I wanted to make sure I had the staff's attention. There was probably close to 40 people in attendance, so it was a great way to kick off my internship. I started with teaching the staff the difference between using technology and technology integration. I felt this was important because some staff don't know the difference. I then went over how our students can be good digital citizens, something that should be taught more often than it is. Next, I did a demonstration on how to use Plickers. I wanted to show the staff that technology integration doesn't always need a lot of devices. They really enjoyed this and asked for more information about it. Last, I asked the staff to answer a few survey questions to better meet their needs at Tech Thursdays and find out what they are looking for. Here are some of the results from the survey. I was surprised to learn so many of my colleagues were interested in learning from webinars. I'm glad I built in an online learning component and in-person learning opportunities. I also learned that the staff had a high interest in Google Drive and learning how to organize it. At the end, I liked seeing the positive comments of people that were excited for my internship and other things that they wanted to learn throughout the year. At this point, I don't need to change my plan too much because the staff seems to have a high interest in the topics I selected and wanted to learn more. For my first Tech Thursday, I held a session on Google Drive. I sent out reminder emails prior to the session to remind everyone and get them excited about attending. The day of, I made an announcement to the entire school reminding everyone to attend, but only 3 staff were in attendance. I was really hoping for more, but I will take what I can get. It turned out to be a really great session because I could really tailor the session to their needs. We went over a presentation and spent time actually going through the steps to get a feel for the drive. I then gave them time to look at their drive and play around to see what they could do. They were able to create folders, organize documents, share documents, and delete things they no longer needed by the end of the session. It really was a great start despite the low attendance. After this session, I had many people come up to me asking to do the session again because they were sorry they missed it. At least they were still showing an interest. I quickly learned that being a technology leader in the school meant more than holding Tech Thursday workshops in my classroom. It meant that my name was the first to pop into people's heads when they needed help with technology. This was great because I could help people one-on-one with what they wanted to learn and make a direct impact right away. One of the projects I was able to help with was creating a screencast for the STEM fair on how to access Google Slides and get started. This was an important job because the teachers wanted to increase e-projects this year and wanted students to have the skills to make one. This screencast was shared with the staff at the STEM Fair Parent Night and posted on the school website for students and parents to see. It was really great to use a skill I learned at Loyola and be able to introduce it to the staff at my school. This sparked an interest with the staff to learn more about screencasting and how they could make their own videos. Unfortunately, due to lack of time to plan, scheduling conflicts, and snow days, my internship didn't go as planned. I thought I would have time to do it all, but unfortunately, there are only 24 hours in a day, and I had to prioritize what got done and push things off for later. I had to cancel a few sessions because I just didn't have time to plan them. It was difficult balancing going to class, planning an internship, and life outside of Loyola. So I had to reevaluate my plan and make some changes that could fit my schedule and still be a technology leader. One of the changes I made was to move Tech Thursdays from after school to during collaborative planning with my first grade team. This way, I knew I would have people in attendance and I would be teaching things they wanted to learn. In addition, I was able to use some of my time in the afternoons to informally meet with colleagues to help them with things like Class Dojo, Google Docs, and Web 2.0 tools. I was still being a technology leader in the school, just on a smaller scale. For one of my collaborative planning meetings, I taught my team how to use Plickers, quizzes, and Kahoot. They saw me using these tools with my class and wanted to learn more. Since it was only a short amount of time, I provided them with an agenda explaining each of the sites and additional resources that they could check out. I demonstrated each one using the iPads. Now that first grade has an iPad cart, the motivation to want to learn how to use technology has increased. Sometimes all it takes is your students asking you to learn new things for you to try something new. I like being able to work with my team and teach them what I know because then we can share ideas and work on creating things together. My internship didn't go as planned, and as the year came to an end, I felt like I owed it to my colleagues to provide them with more technology opportunities. I struggled though with how to do it. I emailed my advisor and she suggested instead of doing in-person sessions to try creating a bulletin board with technology tips. I liked this idea and thought about how I could make it digital. I learned about HyperDocs in one of my Technology for L's groups and thought it would be a perfect way to include all of the information I wanted to share in one document for the staff to use. I created an idea board with 9 different ways to integrate technology into the classroom or your workspace. I wanted to include a variety of options to reach as many teachers as possible. With each square on the board, I created another slide to link to the website, explain what devices you need to use this tool, what it can be used for, more information if it was available, and a challenge for the staff to try. I spent a lot of time working on this board, but I enjoyed making it because it put some of my best talents together, and it could be done anytime. The staff really enjoyed the board, and I even spent some one-on-one time helping one of my colleagues try it out. She liked that she had options to pick from, and it was all in one resource. Some of the staff participated in the challenges while others looked through it. I hope to see some of these tools being used in the fall, as teachers had all summer to try out these tools and possibly make lessons on their own using them. Throughout my internship, I made different resources that I shared with the staff. I created presentations and a survey. I made agendas for meetings with links to presentations and websites. I created screencasts for training teachers. I also made an idea board with lots of information. Most of my creations were made using G Suite applications to help staff get a better feel for how to use them and to make it easy to create, share, and update documents throughout the year. To check out all of my resources, please visit the resources section on my portfolio website. In order to fulfill the online learning component of my internship, I created a screencast about how to make screencasts and why teachers and students should use them. I have found screencasts are great for narrating slideshows, creating how-to videos, flipping the classroom, and more. They are easy to make, and the hardest part is getting your words right when you record. I think students will enjoy creating screencasts as presentations, especially those shy students who don't like speaking in front of the class. This gives them an opportunity to show what they know without the added stress. To see my screencast, please visit my online learning component section of my website or visit my YouTube channel. There are 18 key concepts in the Educational Technology program. As part of my reflection, I had to pick 5 of the standards and identify how my internship met the standards. In the next couple of slides, I will identify the 5 standards my internship met, along with a rationale and artifacts. The first key concept I identified is 4.1. Candidates will be able to help students use technology to collaborate with others inside and outside the classroom. 2 tools I introduced on the end of the year ideas board are Google Docs and Padlet. Google Docs allows for students to work together on one document at the same time. Multiple students can write at the same time and see what each other is doing as well. My favorite part is you can access Google Docs anywhere you have access to your Google Drive. Another good tool for collaboration is Padlet. The teacher can ask a question, and all of the students can post their response on one board. Students can then see what each other posted, and everyone has a voice. For my idea board, I posted a link to a Padlet board for teachers to try it out and respond to a question. Both are great ways for students to work together in the classroom and outside of the classroom. The second key concept I identified is 5.1. Candidates will be able to apply technology to facilitate a variety of effective assessment and evaluation strategies. Throughout my internship, I identified many different platforms to use for assessment and evaluation. At my technology integration kickoff session, I introduced the staff to Plickers. At collaborative planning with my first grade team, I went into more detail about Plickers and taught them how to use Quizzes and Kahoot. And on the end of the year idea board, I provided more information on all of the platforms previously identified. There are so many platforms for assessment, it is important for you to find one you like as a teacher and find one or more that your students are comfortable using. The third key concept I identified is 7.1. Candidates will be able to model and build a positive school culture that supports the safe, healthy, and ethical use of technology. At my technology integration kickoff session, I introduced the staff to digital citizenship and provided ways for them to teach their students how to be good digital citizens. Teachers need to model good digital citizenship, and they need to monitor what their students are doing while they're using technology. The fourth key concept I identified is 14.1. Candidates will be able to create screencasts for instructional purposes and/or professional development. As you've already heard, I created 2 screencasts during my internship. One on how to make screencasts and the other on how to access and use Google Slides. My How to Screencast video can be found on my end of the year idea board, and the screencast about Google Slides can be found on my YouTube channel. The last key concept I identified is 18.1. Candidates will be able to locate a variety of technology resources, evaluate them for classroom use, and assist colleagues with this process. During my collaborative planning meeting with my team, I identified 3 technology resources they could use in the classroom. I provided them with more information on each and how they could be used. They were also able to come up with ideas on how to use them while I demonstrated how I use them. They then tried them out and were able to pick the ones they liked best. My end of the year Tech Ideas board also met this standard because I provided many resources for the staff and talked about how to use them in the classroom and offered assistance to those who needed it. I enjoy teaching my colleagues about the technology resources I find because I always learn something new. I find a new feature or a new way to use the tool. It is really great for the both of us. Throughout my internship, I kept a reflection journal on how the process is going. About once a month, I wrote an entry in the journal reflecting on what was going well and what needed improvement. My entire internship was a learning process and took great effort to pull off. I learned a lot from completing this internship. I learned it is okay to stop and evaluate my plan and make changes. Just because I created a plan doesn't mean I have to stick to it if it isn't working. I also learned being a technology leader takes a lot of time and patience. Save all of your resources because there's always going to be someone who missed what you taught and will want to know more. Make sure you try everything out before teaching them, and it definitely helps to read the instruction guides. There are always helpful tips in them you may not know. Lastly, I learned my staff is very supportive of me and my journey to integrate technology at Deerfield Run. They want to learn new things and are willing to try them out. To read more in-depth reflections or to see more of them, please visit the reflections section of my portfolio website. Looking back at the plan I made, it seemed great in the beginning, but slowly I ran out of time to do everything in it during the planned time. I wish I was able to stick to it better, but it just didn't work out. I feel like I was able to meet my goal of integrating technology at Deerfield Run just on a smaller scale. I was able to work with more teachers one-on-one and make a great impact in their lives of learning technology. And that's what matters. Yes, it would have been nice to work with more teachers, but I just didn't have the time. In the end, I was still able to use the idea board to provide great information to all of the teachers at my school. If I had to rewrite my plan, I would include monthly ideas added to an idea board with more how-to videos attached. I would also include a drop-in time for teachers to visit my room and learn more about the ideas they have seen. I would have also started earlier and found someone to hold me accountable to doing what I am supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it, because then I would have been able to do more of the in-person sessions. In the end, the plan was a great starting point, but it wasn't how I ended my internship. Moving forward, I still plan to be a technology leader at my school. I will help teachers learn to integrate technology into their lives and classrooms. I will also continue to integrate technology into my classroom. I will continue to stay active with my PLN and take classes to stay current with the latest technology trends. I will continue to share what I learn and maybe offer to lead a professional development session or two. Just because my internship has come to an end doesn't mean the things I have put in place at Deerfield will come to an end too. I will continue to help shape the future of technology and make sure our students become digital citizens and 21st century learners. Thank you to everyone who made my internship possible. To everyone who attended my sessions, to those who helped support me and give me ideas, I really appreciate it, and I wouldn't have been where I am today without you. To check out my full internship portfolio, please visit my website, and I appreciate any comments and feedback. Thank you.